Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Chrissy, and we are going over some music things. So that's how you came up with the name?
And I think that was what sparked it for me.
It's just perfect.
To achieve what you want.
Is passion. It'll be pretty much every way.
That's a good question.
Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Chrissy, and we are going over some music things. As I mentioned in the first episode, if you were listening to that one, I kind of want to go over a lot of different things about music, as far as like if you're starting off in music, or if you're trying to grow your music, or if you just need that extra encouragement to just get started and get that confidence and, to try and become a musician in some way. And again, could be a hobby, this could be a side gig, this could be a full-time career, whatever, you want to try for and whatever you can work towards. And so each of these episodes, I want to kind of talk about something that is going to be helpful and useful, and something that can help you to grow your music and help you to get some confidence in what you're doing, and see if you can get some results from it. So my goal with this podcast is to go ahead and get feedback from other musicians and connect with them, talk about what they're doing, talk about the results they're getting, and talk about their genre of music and how much time they've put into it and how much work they put into it and the little things that they've done. Like I said, this kind of depends on the genre, and it kind of depends on your own personal goals. But there are a lot of things as far as, with music, that there are some similarities. So for example, like growing on social media, figuring out copywriting of your music, if you're writing original songs, there are some things that are similar across the genres. So what I would like to do is get to talk to different indie artists who are taking different paths and taking different steps to get to where they're going as far as their music and to accomplish their goals. And then I just want to talk about like music in general. So my background is in marketing, and I have covered a lot of marketing material like in the editorial side, but also with social media. But I have worked in journalism as well, and I've managed social media pages with large followings. Recently I have gotten my certification in social media marketing, but I've also worked as a producer and managed social media channels, and I've also grown my own. And I am currently a script writing editor, where I am looking over the content that is going up for YouTube for my company. So yeah, and for me personally, I'm trying to use those skills and cross over into the music into the music industry, and then see how it's playing out and see if those skills are applicable in the business world as they are in the music world. And I'm here to share like my results and what I'm doing with it and what's been going on with it. And I just want to share my insights and see maybe it's helpful for someone, or maybe someone has a similar story. So for today, just since this is still kind of an intro for the podcast, I want to just go over some basic things to give you an idea of some of the things that I can share as far as some of the knowledge I have or some of the research I've done, and some things that I've learned in my jobs. So I think two major things as far as for if you're a musician starting out and you really want to get yourself out there, a couple of things to consider is social media and copyright if you are a songwriter. So as far as social media, I know that there are different platforms and people have different preferences. What I am offering as far as insight is specifically for Instagram and YouTube. Those are the two channels I have focused on. I decided to only pick two because I didn't want to run too many social media platforms and not give it enough time, not give it enough quality content. So I decided to pick two. So those are the two that I focus on as far as when I'm talking about insights and talking about ideas and suggestions. So I picked Instagram because that's my favorite social media platform. I'm pretty comfortable with it. I've used it for a while, and I think that, you know, there is a way to grow on Instagram, and there is, you make real connections there with people, and it's just easy to tag people, message people, to collaborate with people. And so that's where I do my collaborations with other musicians. As far as for YouTube, the reason why I picked YouTube, well, it's obviously a big platform for videos, for video content. And the thing about YouTube is that if you are a little bit savvy in marketing or in what they call SEO, and that's search engine optimization, which means you are essentially improving the content so that you are ranking it so that when users are getting online and they search for content that's similar to yours can actually pop up at the top. And so you're actually competing against other links, other websites, other sites, basically. And what SEO is mostly focused on like keywords. So you're using certain keywords in order to help get your content ranked better and seen by more users. And so then what that does is increase your reach. You're reaching more people. You're reaching potentially more listeners or customers or just visitors if you have a website. But the thing about YouTube is that it's created by Google. And so all this SEO stuff is mainly Google search. And the two are intertwined because when you search, if you notice, when you go search, if you search, let's say, a song cover, and you go search the song and you put title of song, the artist, and you put the cover, you're likely going to get a YouTube result as one of the first things because there's a lot of covers on YouTube. And so things that are on YouTube are actually optimized. Now, a lot of that is users that have a big following, but even if you have a smaller following, if you optimize keywords correctly, you can still get ranked and you can still be one of the top videos that shows up. So I've done my own research on that, and when I post some videos, sometimes I don't always have a lot of time to do this, but when I do have time, I'll be curious and I'll go search, like if I did Ed Sheeran cover, if I did, let's say, Thinking Out Loud, and I do Ed Sheeran Thinking Out Loud, and I go search that, and a couple times my video has been one of the first few to pop up because I'm searching the exact same keywords that I put into the title of the video or the description of the video. So with YouTube, there is actually potential. The thing about it is that you will need to put a lot of work into it. You'll need to put a lot of thought. You'll need to do research. There are specific websites where you can do keyword research, and I want to get into that on a different episode. Talk about the websites that I use to do this keyword research and kind of how that works. But that's pretty detailed thing that's more into the marketing aspect. But this is just to give some encouragement that even if you think you don't have a following, or you don't think that you can grow, or you don't know a lot of people to get it started, you still can. And you really don't have to know anyone. You don't have to connect to anyone if you want to do this separately from the people that you're already connected with. You can start something completely separate to try it on your own if you're just starting off and a little unsure of what approach you want to take or your brand. Yeah, you can definitely start off something, and you don't have to have a certain amount of followers or subscribers. You can start off fresh, and that content will, if you are optimizing it correctly, if you are putting in keywords, tags, if you put the right title and description in there, then you can reach the right people. But again, YouTube is something that takes a lot of research. For me personally, my YouTube is still pretty small. But I do notice that when I put effort, I see a difference on the amount of views. I see a difference on how quickly it generates. And I see I am seeing like the results of what I need to do exactly. So with YouTube, yeah, there is a lot of research going in there, but it also gives you that hope that if you do the work, that yeah, you should hopefully be ranking, your content should be ranking. But yeah, it's one of those things that you'll have to think outside the box. It's not just going to be as simple as Ed Sheeran cover. It might be keywords like acoustic, keywords like love song, and I'm not saying those specific keywords, but that's kind of to the point of, finding what works for your genre and for your songs and for your content, So with YouTube, it's great that there is potential there. And that's why I chose to make YouTube. And I will note also that once you do start, it's important to keep it going. It's important to stay consistent, keep posting, keep it consistent, try to stay on a regular schedule. And I say that from experience. When I started off, my YouTube, for having such a low number of subscribers, was getting decent views on my videos. And I got busy and I didn't keep up with it. And so I think I went about a month of not posting. And I noticed a difference on the views. And so now I'm trying to get back into it. I am trying to post regularly and I see the views picking back up again. So don't get discouraged on the amount of views with YouTube, because that really depends on consistency. So just make sure it is consistent. You don't have to post every day, but from what I've researched, at least once a week to keep it active. And it's important to stay consistent. If you do the shorts videos, you'll generate a lot more views than just posting a regular video on YouTube. And that'll add to your total view count. All of those views on the shorts will count as your total views for your whole page, for your whole channel. And yeah, I'll get into other details about YouTube in other episodes, but that's kind of an overview for that. And then for Instagram, like I said, I prefer Instagram. I like it. I like using it. It's easy for me to use. I think I've gotten used to it. It's easy to connect with people on there. It's easy to tag, in your stories, tag 10 people, or, mention some of your favorite people, or all those kind of things. It helps you kind of build that community with other musicians. And so I make sure I am part of those types of things. I connect with people on collaboration. So I collaborate with other musicians, and it's virtual. You can do it virtually. You just create as if you're creating your own video and you're going to post it. You're creating it with someone else who is going to do another part of the song. So the key with a collaboration is just to make sure that the timing is correct, that is synced up properly if you're doing a cover song to, the original song, that it's at the right tempo, and that if you're doing like an original song or something else, that you are working directly with the other piece that you need to work with. And collaborations help you reach more people, because you have your audience and then you have their audience. And so it's a good way to grow and to get yourself out there, but it's also a good way to learn more about yourself as a musician, your style, and it's a good way to learn, the teamwork aspect of music. Music, you're often not doing solo, you're working with other people. Very rarely do people know a ton of instruments where they can cover the whole song. I know of a couple of them that do, but most of us stick with one instrument, maybe two. Maybe we sing and play. For me, it's like I sing, I consider myself more of a singer, and then I play guitar. But I tend to play rhythm guitar, not lead guitar. There's a whole difference on that. So yeah, I like to be more of lead singer and like rhythm guitar player. I do occasionally do a little piano, but I don't really consider myself a piano player. I mostly do it just to generate like ideas. But that's really not my instrument. It's definitely guitar. but yeah, so these collaborations, you get like sounds from other people. You can find people that play even random instruments. Something that's not, I know guitar is pretty common, then piano is pretty common, but if you want to really make a song unique and different, then you can find other musicians, violin player or a flute player, or, there's quite a few, but drummers are a little harder to find than a guitar player. But yeah, there's a lot of different types of musicians that you could work with, and it's pretty easy to just connect with them. On Instagram, a lot of people do have that in their bios as to go ahead and send a message if they want to collaborate, and that's exactly what that means. They want to collaborate on a song, and so these collaborations just kind of help to, keep making music and make it unique and make it different and incorporate different types of sounds that you don't normally have access to, and you can't do it solo. But yeah, so I think collaborations are pretty fun. I enjoy doing collaborations, and so that's something about Instagram that's kind of easy on there to connect with people and work on these. And yeah, so that's my reason for Instagram. And as far as growing on there, I will also talk about this in different episodes, a little more detail. I want to kind of recap like what I do for the week. I tend to do at least 2 posts per week. Within my insights of Instagram, like there's sections, and I can explain that. There are sections in Instagram where you can find what they're recommending for you to do in order to grow. And so for me, it says to do 4 posts. I don't have the time to do that many posts because I still want to consider quality. I don't want to just do a snippet of a song. I want to make sure, for me, if I post, I do a whole verse or a whole chorus or a verse and a chorus. I don't like to do like very short reels, but yeah, I try to do at least 2 a week. But like, for example, this week I am testing out. I'm trying to do 4 and see what it does and see if I notice a difference. But I do know that for long term, doing 4 is a lot for me. So I am sticking with 2. And that's my goal. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing on Instagram. And like I said, I'll have different tips. I think I'll just go through whenever I just talk about what I'm doing for the week, talk about those results. I want to talk about the impact of the type of song, the genre of song. Did I sing it in a different key? Did I sing it original? Did I collaborate? Did I use hashtags? Did I not use hashtags? Which ones did I use? There's a lot of things that you can really just go into so much of the little things, little details, and try and figure out what's working. And so I just want to discuss that, and maybe you can compare your notes if you're trying to do the same thing and see how it's going. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing with that. And so I would like to include that on my podcast, kind of a recap and what's going on Instagram and how it's going and how it's growing. So that was just kind of a basic little kind of intro of about what I do with my social media, and kind of my background, and what my goals are with with all of that, and just trying different things right now. So I appreciate everyone who is tuning in and listening. If you've been listening to these episodes, I appreciate you. And make this song like dramatic breakup, and I'm inspired by it.
Yeah.
But the events are not necessarily it's like the movies say, some fictional events or whatever.
Yeah,
So
but
what's
that's
your
how good
take on
stuff.
that?
Good. I think that's the best take on it. I mean, if we would just write about our real everyday life, I guess that could be pretty boring at some point,
Yeah.
no? Because we all have like our everyday stuff we have to deal with, and yeah, I don't know if that fits in a song. So if you say you make a love song, let me say out of a first date, I think that's the best way
Yeah.
to do it. Because if you take like all the famous bands, I mean, they definitely don't live through the stuff they write down in songs. They exaggerate too. That's just a normal
Yeah.
process, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting, but I don't think I've ever talked about that with anyone. I definitely do the same thing, and it's just also a way to make the music more poetic and more make it rhyme, make it flow. You want to add in some basically creativity in that.
The track Venus from, hold on, I remember the band. It's a pretty famous track. It's like Blue something. I'm searching for that in just a minute. I will look for later, but I'm not finding it so quickly. So yeah, and
It's blue
as
something.
I remember, it's Blue something. My goodness, now I'm it stuck on my head. Hold on. Yeah, I give up. Well,
Okay.
aside of that,
You know, me, I play acoustic guitar, but I really love rock and roll as well. I love that classic rock. So I kind of go in between, you know, the
That's
folk
amazing.
stuff and then like the rock stuff when I collab, you know. So yeah, I totally understand it. I'm the same way. I like a lot of different types of music. And then of course the EDM, that's up there too. I love that kind of sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, it's
but
amazing.
and as far as and for any other advice, do you have any other advice for musicians who want to get on the charts and want to have music out there and want to get out there?
Yeah, so I think the one word to say is consistency. You're going to need consistency.
But also big and epic in the arrangement. And yeah, so everyone who is into that and also likes the music of Hans Zimmer, then you're
Yes.
definitely good to check it out.
It's my favorite composer because I love Pirates of the Caribbean. And I love the movie, but I really love the song. It's separate. Like I love the song. It's not just the movie, but yeah,
It's
it blends so well with the movie. It brings out like the emotion
yeah,
and
it
also
fits perfectly.
and please check back in and continue to keep up with it and feel free to share your story. Connect with me and let me know your story and what you're doing and how that's working and some of your results as well. So yeah, I am looking forward to all of this. Thanks for tuning in.